make everything you do touch to gold. Maybe the thought crossed Peter's mind. Just add a little Jesus to what you want, and you'll get it. Trouble sleeping? Not a success? Need to lose weight? Want a larger house? A swimming pool? Need to find a date? Just add a little Jesus to it. And that's what we read, and that's what we hear. Just add Jesus, stir, and there you go. As Pat Boone's saying, give God a nickel, he'll give you back a dime. You want to have more? Look, I recommend Jesus. If we had Jesus on our team, we'd be loading our boats with fish like this every day. I think I know the answer. Not have Jesus call us to follow him, but we'll have Jesus join with us. I want Jesus to walk with me, work with me, ride with me as my co-pilot. I'll use Jesus to feel better, sleep better, earn better, be healthy, wealthy, and wise. I mean, what's the point of religion, huh? We can add Jesus to what we want to do, and it makes it okay because it's adding Jesus. And people can think we're holy and religious and good people. Sometimes in the South, especially down in the South, you'll see things like fish on billboards and Jesus on all these businesses. There's one place in Greenville that's pool tables plus Jesus. It's a pool tables, and it's got a plus and a cross sign. There's another one. There's a bargain shoe outlet in Gaffney, South Carolina. And you pass by and it says, bargain shoes in big letters. Then a little letters above it, Jesus is Lord at bargain shoes. Apparently, Jesus got a raise not only from manager, but from Lord at the bargain shoes. And people go. If you add a little Jesus, your business thrives. But Peter knows better. Simon Peter has one question to answer. Just one. Whose fish are they? That's it. Whose fish? If he went to court, he'd probably get the fish, right? Possession is 9/10 of the law. Our boat, our nets, our fish. But he knows it's not that simple. I'm asking you, whose fish are they? Simon Peter concluded, they're not my fish. Not my fish. Whose fish are they then? God's fish. What's God going to do with them? Feed the people. Feed the crowd. Because they're not my fish. Simon Peter, whatever sins of his past, whatever rough edges of his personality, whatever blunders in the future, and there'll be plenty of them, I give him credit for this. He's gotten the point. They're not my fish. And so he leaves all the fish, leaves all that prosperity, leaves everything to follow Jesus. He walks with Jesus. It's not I want Jesus to walk with me. I want to walk with Jesus. I want to make this as simple as I can. I don't know any clearer clue that any of us could ever arrive at the meaning of following Jesus than this. Just ask yourself, whose fish are they? Not my fish. Not my fish. God's fish for the people of God. How liberating that must be to be truly convinced of that. Truly convinced of it. In a world of gimme, 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 and get, it's mine, I want to move up this ladder. In a world of profit and greed all of the time, when the appeal to young people when they're thinking their career is, well, the money's over here. You can do good for yourself here. You can climb the ladder here. You'll get your McMansion here. Think about the money, the stuff, the power, and the prestige. Think how liberating it is to know, not my fish. Not my fish. And here is this man is faced in a moment of truth with one question. Whose are the fish? Peter says, not my fish. Can we, this church, can we say, not our fish? Can you say, not my fish? Can I say, not my fish? Because if we can, then we'd be totally free. Totally free. And your life will be different, and the world will be different. Because they're not my fish. They're not your fish. They're not our fish. How does that work? Oftentimes we say these things in church that sound really good, and we can leave thinking, yeah, it's a nice message. They're not our fish. But how does that play out in your life? Does it mean just tithing 10%? Maybe. Does it mean not trying to get the best of everything? Maybe. I want to give you a concrete example, though. And you can find this if you look up the New York Times in an article called, What Could You Live Without? It's about a family. Kevin Sawin's a writer and entrepreneur in Atlanta. He was driving with his 14-year-old daughter back from a sleepover in 2006. While waiting at a traffic light, they saw a black Mercedes coupe on one side of them and a homeless man begging for food on the other. I saw that the other day in Peoria outside the Target. Hannah saw this and protested, "Dad, if that man had a less nice car, that man could have a meal." The light changed and they drove on. But Hannah was too young to be reasonable, so the writer of the article says. She pestered her parents about inequity and inequity, insisting that she wanted to do something. The parents said, "What do you want us to do? We can't solve all the world's problems. What should we do, sell our house?" Never suggest a grand gesture to an idealistic teenager. Hint to parents here. Because Hannah seized upon the idea of selling the luxurious family home, the home they dreamed about for so long, and donating half the proceeds to charity, while using the other half to buy a more modest home. And the kids pestered their parents until finally they did that. They sold their large Atlanta home and donated $800,000 to a hunger project, setting up food and microfinancing to 40 villages in Ghana. Not my fish. And it's funny because their lives got better after that. They thought that the big family home was what they really needed, what would make their family happy. But what they noticed was a smaller home actually made them happier because there was less places to go and retreat off to. It brought them closer together as a family. And the person that sold them their new house was so inspired that they gave $100,000 to this project. That's just one example. Not my fish. We think we want this. We think we need to get this, get up to this level. Here's one family, 14-year-old daughter. If they had a less nice car, this guy could have food. If we had a less nice house, all these people could get education and have medicine and not die at an early age of starvation. Not our fish anyway, right? 14-year-old. So what are we going to do? How are we going to answer? Because Jesus sees all our luxury. He sees what we have. And he says, "Come and follow me." And the temptation is to say, "Jesus, why don't you come and come along with me? Just tag along here, and we'll do things together." But who's God? Who's Lord? Who's the real guide? Maybe we need to follow Jesus. So the question before you is, whose fish are they? Let us pray.